This segment of Packard Pokes At was made possible by patrons of the show and viewers like you. Please go to patreon.com/PackardPokesAt to help support the show. Thank you. Republican Representative Steve King was interviewed recently, and they were talking about LGBT and the gay community, and he's saying that the LGBT studies on parenting are a hoax, like global warming is a hoax, apparently, which isn't true. Global warming is real, and LGBT people being able to, raise children better or as good as parents of a mother and a father have been proven. The fact is that he's going out saying that there's other opinions on global warming. It's like, yeah, but they're fucking wrong. We have a lot of data that says global warming is real. It's not a hoax. And people taking care of their children, doesn't matter if they're both two men or two women or a man and a woman, as long as the children are being taken care of. He said, I want to respect all the people, but I want to promote the natural family. Can anybody say logical fallacy? He goes on to continue, Chris, and I think that the most wholesome thing we can do, really, just because you think this, it should be that way? I don't think so. He continues on here. The natural family is a man and a woman joined together, hopefully in holy matrimony, blessed by God with children. And is also a Donald Trump supporter, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. Cuomo, who was interviewing him, cited scientific research that says same-sex parents do as well, if not better, than children of heterosexual families, which I just mentioned. He says, we know what works. It's a loving the kid. This is Cuomo speaking. Giving them the attention, giving them the time. There's no reason to believe that you have to have a man and a woman to do that. And I completely agree with him on that point, which I'm glad he actually stood up to these Republican nightmares and said, hey, what you're saying is bullshit. And I would have just called him on that point. And he continues on here. He says, why not encourage anything that gets a child loved and provided for? But he says, I'll need to look into that further. And then cited, well, no, straight parents are better parents. Without any research, he just says it on the fly. Like, he has any say in the matter. Kind of your thoughts.
I'm assuming that Steve King was quoting the University of Texas sociologist Mark Regnerus. Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce his name correctly. Study that they did on children of gay parents, and it's been roundly debunked by actually a Texas judge, a federal judge was saying that this is not worthy of serious consideration. But the religious right still love quoting it. No, Representative Stephen King. It doesn't matter, and there's so many reasons that this study that he's quoting, it's not worthy of consideration. The study was flawed in the way it was researched and the study base that it was based on. And if you follow any kind of, if you fact check it, no. So just another person trying to promote their gay-phobic agenda. Yeah. If it mattered that there was a father absent, then all of the children, or a mother, I guess, all of the children born from divorce would be affected by that, and there's no way to separate that out from the fact that they were born to had two parents, and then they split up, which is it's a whole other different dynamic,
There's an old saying that it takes a village to raise a child, because
exactly.
So your village is, more than just one person, because one of the parents has to sleep once in a while.
Well, and again, it matters whether or not the parents are arguing in front of the child
True.
and making the child feel like they are, the problem. I don't know. But again, the sample size for this particular study was really flawed. If you look at it.
Yeah. Tom, your thoughts?
I think people just assume that the way they grew up is the only logical way it should be.
Yeah.
That their experience is, since it worked out for them, or at least they think it worked out for them, then obviously that's how it's meant to be, and any deviation from that is unnatural and, just wrong.
Yeah. It worked for me. Should work for everybody else, too.
What a lot of fear.
Yeah. I was just married to my sister cousin here. That worked out for me, too, So we should all get sister married. Of course, that's only valid in Arkansas.
Yeah, anyone who wants to dictate how a child should be raised or what the parental arrangement is living a delusion.
Yeah.
They can't see outside of their own experience. And even if their experience is horrible, they still think it's the right way to do it.
Yeah. I have a comment here from the chat room. Dead's Jetser, thank you for your comment. It says, "Dear Bible, my baby is teething and won't stop crying. What should I do?" And he goes, the Bible replies, "Dash it against the rock."
Stone it.
Stone that.
That's very smart. Very smart.
It's being uppity. You need to stone it.
That's right.
God.
It says it in the Bible. Must be true.
It's true.
It's a good thing my father didn't believe in the Bible. I would have been dead many times over.
Oh, shit. I think a good portion of us would be,
The only reason I'm here is my grandpa died when my father was 13. So.
Oh,
yeah.
You
wow.
lucked out then.
Yep.
Whoa. Color me stunned.
Unworshiped Deity, what's your thoughts?
I think Steve King is speaking to I guess his whoever voted for him or whoever's supporting him. They're still sort of not used to seeing, men and men or women, lesbians and gays like raising children. I just don't think they grew up with that because that's happened mostly still within our generation. All these changes have happened in like the last 50 years, like leaps and bounds of civil rights. So a lot of the people who are against them are still around and can still make choices and decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that once, the generations that are coming, once they see that this is actually normal, it's going to eventually be faded out, and it's going to be seen as, how could we ever have thought about things like this back then?
I agree with
Awesome.
you. I hope that someday we will get away from these dinosaurs of thought and get them out of office so we can actually, move forward with humanity.
Well, how long did it take for society to get over the idea that not a handmaid, but who is the woman who mothers quite often would have some other woman breastfeed their children, so they didn't have to.
Oh, shoot.
That was a very common thing. Or having
a wet nurse.
Yeah,
a wet
nurse.
nurse.
A wet nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or having mammy raise your children, having a black woman raise your children was so common that people thought, well, of course, why wouldn't you do that? That's how it's meant to be. That's
Or what if you have older brothers and sisters and it's like, yeah, you're old enough to take care of your younger brothers and sisters. So you're in charge while I'm off doing whatever I have to do. So that's a thing too.
I have to say that when I talk with my grandchildren and they are already saying, why is this a problem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am just, because that's just 2 generations below me. And I am so encouraged to hear that. Yeah. I just think that for the majority, we're only a couple generations away from total normals, what I would call normalcy. Mm-hmm. This would be normal because normal wouldn't matter.
Divorce is normal. I mean, I'm in the middle of a divorce, and my daughter she is completely unfazed by it. I mean, half her family and friends have divorced parents, so the idea of your parents not living together is completely normal to her. Where when I was
Yeah.
growing up, when my parents got divorced, it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Thinking about how people couple, how people, and again, maybe our problem isn't a divorce problem. Maybe our problem is that we don't raise children, we don't raise people to be aware of who they are sexually,
Mm-hmm.
and what they need to do. I mean, we have this idea that you grow up, you get married, and you have kids, and not everybody is maybe genetically or emotionally stable, or not stable, but ready to be biologically and emotionally extraneous. And I don't know, there's so many questions. It's almost too many questions. I find myself really overwhelmed by the amount of questions that it raises, and I'm going to be very frank right now, but it's more than we need for the show that we're doing tonight, so
All right.
I apologize. I don't want to overwhelm everybody, but
Yeah.
it's like, wow,
I'm sorry. On Worship Day Deity, did you have any additional thoughts on that, or?
Oh no, pretty much blew my load on that one.
On this show, that's easy to do.
All right.
I apologize.
I'm a little spent now. I need some water.
Okay,
Do you need a cigarette too? Because
this is Practical Magic signing off for tonight. I'm just gonna bow out. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Yes or no questions for me for us tonight? Sorry.
It's fine. It's okay.
Did you like this segment of Packard Pokes At? If you did, please click here on the video to see more from this show. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the show. You can find our second podcast, The Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe, on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Be sure to check those out.